Subtracting fractions. When we subtract fractions, we have to make sure that the pieces are the same size. This first fraction is split up into quarters. The second fraction is split up into eighths. We need the pieces to be the same size. Cutting something up into 4 pieces is not the same as cutting something up into 8 pieces. So what we do is we make equivalent fractions so that the denominators are the same. So first of all, I look at 3/4 and 2/8, and I look at the 4 and the 8, which is the denominators, and I pick a number that they both go into. The smaller the better, and I'll choose 8. So I'm going to change these into eighths. Still subtracting. The second fraction is already in eighths, so I don't need to do anything to that. I'll just leave it as 2/8. The first fraction, 3/4, the 4 is turned into an 8, and to do that I need to multiply by 2. So I've multiplied the 4 by 2. I must also multiply the 3 by 2, and that gives me 6/8. That means I can now do the subtraction. All I need to do is do 6 take away 2. I do not do 8 take away 8. For adding and subtracting, the fraction on the bottom is not added or subtracted. We only add or subtract the top number, so I subtract the top numbers. So I'm going to leave the 8 there, and I'm going to see 6 take away 2 is 4. So the answer to that's 4/8. And that's a good answer, but I could do a bit better by cancelling. So let's do that. I think of a number that goes into 4 and 8, and that's 4. So 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 2 times, and a better answer is a half. A half is the same amount of fraction as 4/8. If I split something up into 2 pieces and have one of them, I'm eating the same amount as if I've got something split up into 8 pieces and I eat 4 of them. Here are some questions for you to do. What you should do now is turn the video or stop the video so you can still see the questions and have a go at them yourself. So pause the video now. When you finish doing the questions, start the video up again and I'll show you the answers. So here are the answers I've worked out for each question. 2/3 for the first one, 5/12, 7/10, and 3/4. Stop the video now, pause it, and check your answers. If your answers are correct, you don't need to watch the rest of the video. If they're wrong, you can watch the rest of the video where I actually explain how I got my answers. Okay, so let's work these out. For the first question, I've got sixths and twelfths. So I pick a number that they both go into, and I'm going to pick 12. So I'm going to change both fraction into twelfths. For the second fraction, I don't need to do anything because it already is in twelfths, so they can stay 2/12. For the first fraction, 5/6 is not in twelfths, but if I multiply 6 by 2, I get 12. So I also need to multiply 5 by 2, and I get 10. Now I can subtract the fractions. 10 take away 2 is 8. So the answer is 8/12. That will cancel down, but we've done the subtraction. If I do cancel it down, I'm going to say 4 goes into 8 2 times, 4 goes into 12 3 times. So 2/3 is a better answer. But 8/12 is still right. Let's look at the next one. We've got 3/4 take away 1/3. The number that 4 and 3 both go into is 12. So again, I'm going to make these into twelfths. This time I have to change both fractions. So 4 goes into 12 3 times. So I've multiplied this by 3. So I better multiply this by 3 as well. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So I need to multiply 1 by 4 as well, and I get 4. So if I subtract them now, 9 take away 4 is 5. The twelfths stay the same, and that one won't cancel down. The next question, 4/5 take away 1/10. I'll make them both into tenths because 5 and 10 both go into 10. The second fraction can stay as it is because it's already in tenths. The first fraction, 5 goes into 10 2 times. So I've multiplied that by 2. I better multiply this by 2 as well. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 take away 1 is 7, so the answer to that is 7/10. For the last question, the number that both of the denominators go into, 8 and 16, is 16. The second fraction is already in 16ths, so I can just leave it as 2. The first fraction, well, I've multiplied 8 by 2 to get 16, so I need to multiply 7 by 2, and I'll get 14. If I have 14 take away 2, I get 12/16, which can cancel down because 4 goes into both of those, and I'll get 3/4.